Hello, good morning. So, I'm Dr. Asta Suman and from English department. So, uh, my earlier chapters, two of the chapters from Modern Master is already completed. Now we should move on the third one. That third one is now we should take Nehru's philosophy. Yes. Nehru's philosophy, yes, this is also an interesting topic. So let us just start with this topic today. You all, I have already completed this chapter in the classroom, but yes, to make it more clear, again I am telling this that Nehru's philosophy is all about Nehru, and Nehru's philosophy is a thick book. It is a thick book that is in the syllabus of English Honours. BA Honors syllabus. This book is there, but yes, whether it is at present in English Honours or it is not in present syllabus, I'm not confirmed. But yes, in my time, Nehru's philosophy was a thick book that was prescribed in English Honours syllabus. So you have a you have a thin extract. You have a very bit of pages are given to you. Just a brief survey of Nehru's philosophy, a brief survey of Nehru's concept, which way, what was exactly his concept, which way he molded his life, which way he felt that yes, he should move on his life ahead. So this is a brief concept of his personality. If you will go through the Nehru's philosophy, you will simply get the brief survey of his personality. What exactly he thought, he was also in your age, what exactly he thought in young age, in his time. So, and definitely no one can deny that Nehru was a great personality to read about. So let us start. Nehru's philosophy, he says about himself that yes, he was also a carefree person in his time. When he was in his young age, he was also carefree. He never felt like yes, he didn't take a political career very seriously, that yes, I will go in politics or this or that. Definitely all of us know that he comes from a very rich background, so he was not bothered for money, and he led a very luxurious life, and this way he remained carefree. He felt that no, nothing is going to bother, so life is like this. So he was leading his life very comfortably and very jolly, having interest in everything, every shades of life. But in politics, when he sees that yes, politics, he felt that no, this is not my way, this is not the way where I should indulge. So he was. It is surprising that he became such a great leader. But earlier in his young age, he was not interested in politics, as he has himself mentioned. But yes, gradually when he felt that youngsters, though they are revolting somewhere, but their direction is not in the proper way. Their direction, he felt that yes, they should revolt. Their revolt never comes in the right power. So that's why he felt that no, there must be a leader who should give them the proper direction. So later on he felt that no, I would come in this field, and I would definitely do my best for the society, for the country, and this way he came in politics. But and he never felt what is his attitude, that he felt that no, I am not concerned with. Nehru was not concerned with a particular personality. He was rather concerned with the whole society. Mankind as a whole. Mankind as a whole. He felt that no, we should labor, we should effort for the betterment of mankind, for the betterment of whole society. So somewhere it is a charge maybe, or it is a statement over him that he was a follower of Marx. Karl Marx was a great philosopher in his time, so he was accepted as a follower, disciple of Marxist. So he comes from a Marxist group. Marxist group means ki they believe that what is present, this is all about. We don't know about the past, we don't know about the future. Future is uncertain and past is also uncertain. No one knows about one's past, and no one knows what is going to come in future. So both are equally uncertain, and relying over uncertain, we can't make our theory. So what exactly is and over which we should rely, that is all about present. And yes, believing on present, that will only give you the solution. What is happening in present, what is the plus point in present, and what is the minus point in present, what we should do for making our present better. So it is all about what exactly is in the time when you are living. But we should not concentrate, or we should not even think about what my past was and what is going to be my future. No. So future birth, Nehru never accept, and past birth he didn't rely over, nahi karte the. So moral of the story, he totally believed over present. So having this concept, no, it happens. It is very genuine that religious people do not like him. They feel that yes, Nehru was I must say, I shouldn't use the word discarded, but at least they were he was disowned. Yeah, he was disowned by the religious group of men, because he stood against religion. So definitely this outcome is very natural now. So they felt that yes, he is a Marxist, and that time being Marxist was not popularly accepted, was not commonly accepted. It was told that he comes from a rebellion group, means it's like that. Religious people felt that, well, although Nehru feels that yes, to some extent religion can satisfy to some extent, means something happens in your life which is not which sometimes you will feel that how does it happen, how it becomes, and what was the fault, who was the something happened coincidentally, or which is not justified, which is not properly done. So you felt that how does it happen? The logic never satisfies. So this way you can, to some extent, religion can satisfy. Might be you can go in concept of religion, that might be it is our I'm cutting some consequence of my past deed or whatever, but only to some extent and somewhere. It's not everywhere that you will feel ki yes, this is my past deed and that's why I am cutting this. No, the same scientific support, almost all the paragraph or essays is giving to you in this modern master, somewhere or the other, all of them are supportive to science. This way, whether scientific point of view you are taking, whether challenge of time you are taking, whether learning to write is a different. It is a literary piece, as I had told you. But yes, Nehru's philosophy, almost all the chapters, they are supportive of science. So here the same Nehru is feeling ki yes, religious people something, being moral and being immoral, that might be religion can satisfy ki yes, you should not do this, you should not do this, you should do this. That moral concept might be possible, that yes, at this place religion can satisfy, but only to a limited way. Even if law, you are doing law, the rule and regulation, which is also a kind of science. Because yes, the thing has been done in terms and condition that if you will do this, you will get punishment of this. So due to punishment, how many of us do not do crime due to our moral concept? They do not do crime because they are fearful for getting the punishment by law. Nowadays, because many more places when law is not being capable for giving punishment very timely, so the crime rate has increased. So thing is that we human being do or do not do due to the fear. Yes, I'm not generalizing, but yes, very few of us do or do not do due to our moral concept that yes, our moral is not allowing to do this and our moral is allowing to do this. So this is all about Nehru's concepts that being moral, that is your human quality, and to some extent what is religion gives us the concept that yes, you should be moral, you should not do this, you should do this, or being or immoral, morality and immorality, and like this way to some extent it may satisfy, but basic thing that growth will come with the help of science only. He is very supportive, very clear in his concept, and second thing, he has also told ki yes, scientific point, scientific concept will give you economic growth, scientific concept will give you social growth, scientific point will give you almost all the field only if you have that scientific concept, so then only you will take a growth. Religion is not going to give you that level of growth which our country that time our country demands. Even present time also our country demands that how much if we start relying over religion, it is not sufficient enough to give us the proper growth. So we have to go under science or scientific concept everywhere. So Nehru at one place, he is also very clear. He said that no, he is not in favor of personal God. Very clearly, when you go to the chapter, you will very clearly get the concept after one or two pages after. There is a clear line is given that yes, Nehru is denying rather the personal concept of God, the personal God, and that is that you can understand if you take it very very clearly, that you can easily understand that personal concept of personal God. According to Nehru, and we are feeling it at the present time also, personal God create only a kind of chaos. Because personal God means what? God is, at one place you are saying that yes, God is energy. Who has seen this God? God is a kind of energy now. The energy is for everyone. Even I am God, even you are God, everyone has energy. Thing is that we are not purifying ourselves. God has never deputed us to fight for him. He is himself sufficient to handle this world if you accept God as an eternal figure. So this Nehru is telling that personal God always creates problem. He feels it very surprising. If not funny, then at least he was surprised seeing this concept. Why does this concept exist? Personal God. God is for everyone, and God is an energy. Energy is for everyone. So this is very specific about Nehru's philosophy. Because whether you like or you dislike anyone, that can be your personal concept. But first you try to get a stature, because if you do not have a stature, your statement means nothing. Here, Nehru or Gandhi or Jinnah, whoever, if we are reading his philosophy, they have got their stature, and we do not have that stature to put question mark over them. So at least yes, we can frame our own concept that here I agree, here I disagree. But to agree with someone, disagreeing with someone, should not be your personal, your total. Biased thought. You should just give your thought a space, and just think that whether he is right or whether he is wrong, and if wrong, then which way your wrong concept, your concept for him that he is wrong is justified, and which way your concept that he is right is being justified. This is all about the development of your thought, the concept. Saying someone wrong, saying someone right is not good enough. Just stand up and say that no, he is a bad person, his concept is bad. No, he is a good person, his concept is good. This is not the way. This simply put a question mark over you, not upon them. So means that Nehru's philosophy, if I am going through, or if we are going through Nehru's philosophy, we should understand the 3 or 4 basic points about him. That yes, earlier, although he belonged from a very rich family, we know about him he belongs from a very rich family. There was no starvation in his family, there was no scarcity in his family, so he could remain his life in a jolly way. What was the need to come in the struggle field? But yes, he earlier, although his concept was not clear, and he has mentioned it very, very promptly. He has mentioned that yes, concept should be there, whether it is clear or vague. Your identity is proof when your concept is proved. You must have a concept, what you want to be, what you want to do. Your mind, your development of mind it comes when you have a clear concept. If you are doing something because someone has suggested to do this, someone has suggested to do this, no, your own concept must be there. Your concept gives you a personality, your concept gives you a different stature. Your personal concept only prove that yes, he is someone or she is someone. Otherwise, no one will recognize you. How would you recognize? Just only your name? No, only your name is not sufficient. Prove your name, then only you will be recognized. And when your name will be proved, when you will prove yourself as an identity, and when your identity will develop, your concept will develop, then only you will develop your identity. So this Nehru is telling that yes, vague or clear, but at least concept should be there. Earlier, Nehru didn't have, because definitely he has accepted that he is coming from the jolly family, and he was a jolly figure in early time, and he never felt that like going in the field of politics. He felt that why to go for politics? So if I'm having comfortable life, it's okay. But yes, later on he went to politics because he felt that politics needs him. Although the protest is coming, but the right protest is not coming. The protest for the basic thing should come, which was not coming that time. They were struggling for the religion, for the other thing. But Nehru felt that they should fight for the proper education. They should, because Englishmen were getting proper education, Indian were not provided proper education that time. So they should fight for that. It is an old saying that if you want to destroy any country, first to destroy its youngsters, and youngsters means high education. First to destroy the education, the country will itself demolish. No country can flourish till its education is not developed. So first, if you want to hit any country, destroy any country, destroy its education. And this Nehru was telling that yes, because Britishers were not providing Indians the same education, so they should fight for education. With education only, they would cultivate their concept, and they would select what is right and what is wrong, and which way they should move for their fight. So Nehru felt that yes, youngsters, although they were fighting, but they were not fighting for the right thing. in the proper way. And yeah, so basic demand equal to Britishers. They would fight for that, which they were not. So he felt a proper guidance should be given to those youngsters that yes, they have energy, but the direction was missing according to him. So he decided to come in the field of politics later on, although he was not earlier interested. He came and he felt that yes, I would give them a proper direction to fight for, which way they should fight for. So right, this was the first concept. And second concept, which was the main concept that was given in your chapter, yes, 3 to 4 main concept. If you would analyze it in your answer, that would be sufficient for 25 marks, and at least 5 pages answer must be there. Then only 25 marks would contain 5 to 6 pages. At 5 to minimum, with not a small copy, with a registered page. And not, if not big one, but a good page should be there. Space now at least 5 pages. Still your concept is not coming clear in the copy. So what examiner will judge, and start हुआ नहीं कि end हो गया, आगाज हुआ नहीं कि अंजाम आ गया, उसमें क्या judge करेगा examiner? Your concept should be very clearly presented. So that was the first concept of Nehru's. And second concept, that was that he felt standing for the betterment of the whole humanity, whole world, and he never personalized, he never stood, he never felt that yes, standing for a single personality is sufficient. No, he decided and stood for the whole humanity. So this was the second concept. He never concentrated over the personal, he stood for the humanity. And he felt that yes, if one will take humanity in general, then only growth will come. So second concept. And third concept, he was accepted as a Marxist. Marxist means a Marxian group, a Karl Marx group. Karl Marx was Lenin, Karl Marx, those were the revolutionary thinker at that time. And because earlier religion was prominent, and that scientific point of view, we can only expect such type of development when our mind will develop. Our mind is developed, then only we are going to doctor na, when we are ill. Earlier we used to go to झाड़ू, क्या बोलते हैं, ओझा पंडित वगैरह. So definitely everywhere science has proved itself. So Nehru felt that yes, we should be scientific, and we should take care of the whole humanity, and the whole human figure, the whole world, right?